Peace and blessings to you. How many of you, second, third or fourth generation Pakistanis, have ever had world-class discussions about your own family? And how many of you have been back to the lands where your parents came from all those years ago to understand some of the sacrifices that they went through? Think about that for a moment. So I am currently in the Chhachh Valley. The Chhachh Valley has 127 villages, according to what I've been told. Ghourghushti is the biggest village. Waisa is my favourite village, bar none. But currently I'm in the village of Mallah, walking past a madrasa known as Ziya-ul-Ulum, which has been established for probably more than a decade. And its history in the village goes back to a place known as the Jumat. However, today I'm going to take you on a little walk through the village and show you the bits that I know about. Finding guides and finding people that really want to dig in and give you information just seems to be a little bit of a sensitive subject, so I will do my best. So let's go. So from the main road at the top, if you're coming from the side of Shadi Khan, you will turn right and you will come into the village. On the left hand side is the Qabristan. May God bless all those souls that have gone from dunya and given the highest abode in Jannah. And on the right hand side, there's lots of greenery. And on the right hand side of the madrasa, I'm giggling to myself because this here belongs to the family of Umar Khattab and Umar Daraz. Last year I was wandering about here and suddenly I found a young lad born and bred in the UK that's sowing his own land and planting his own trees. And mashallah, isn't that beautiful? Opposite the madrasa, on the right hand side here, is a piece of land that belongs to Umar Khattab, and I think his brother's called Umar Daraz. Please do not quote me on that. And I found a British born young guy that has taken a massive interest in his own land, and he was simply sowing seeds for his own potatoes. I think that's fascinating how somebody can leave the Western world and just come and play with his own soil. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in his work. So let's continue walking through the village and I will share with you what I know. If you're liking the video, please subscribe, please share, and please send it to everyone that you know. And just a little further along is Zabit Khan Allah's house, the family home. And isn't that just super cool? And just opposite home is a smaller graveyard. And this is my granddad's grave, my father's father, who passed away on the 30th of May 1975. And then his cousin Misri Khan, son of Gulab Khan. And if you're watching out there, whether you're in Vietnam or Hong Kong and you know members of the family, please get in touch. So I'm just going through the village. It's a very hot day and we're going past residences. And Shehzad, if you're watching, I won't mention it because you keep telling me not to mention it, so I will not mention it. Shehzad, I'm not going to mention any names, and I keep mentioning you because you're the eldest. Gigi. As I'm wandering through the village, I found one of the village legends. 3. Khawai tol dunya la kya guri bai Mer Khan. Singa hal lakili hal wa tolu to aya singa hal wal lakili ke.
Khair khairiyat Umar rasira shukur de yara.
Alhamdulillah.
Asad Khan dale mila su dawa salam da Khan ala de. Ko dale mila su dawa salam de der worke wala.
Aga bola double work am inshallah ko kili ke hal wal se de. خلق څنګه دي حالات څنګه دي
بلو خدای ګرمي د ټوله لیوان بهر نور ته سوکیناته نشینو سیدله دروازه ملاو شو لغینم دې دوا سلام ورکړه
تل خپل لکه وتوای زبو وتوام ان شاء الله इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह अदाकार ला क्या कोई
दा खुद फयाज हो
हाजी
दाबित खान ला जरूर
जी जी माशाल्लाह अल्लाह दे के खैर
वो तो असर परवेज पूर दे
जी जी आवा
दा
सही
फयाज दे
जी जी सही है इंशाल्लाह भाई और अखबल के लफा अखबली का ना सो देखिलो के जिदन स खासियत है
दिन दा दे हर सब के दिन पके ढेर दे अल्लाह शुक्र दे
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह
बल दा दे अखबल मुंह दा सखा बंदई सर कई
जी
हाल तो बाहर मुल्क के खुदा दे कुछ मुस्लिम में कहीं न कहीं नहीं डेरी दी हर पेंडई दी चोरई दी रहा के सब्जी में दे रहा
माशाल्लाह यार माशाल्लाह यार तो सलाम है पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद और भाई पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद So that was very random, and so far I've been stopped by about 15 people. So as you can see, it's village life. It's very quiet. Most people would have got up at Fajr time, then stayed awake and done whatever it is that they would have needed to do. And at this sort of time, they will read their Zohar Namaz, and then they will take rest, siesta for a few hours. The heat will calm down a little bit. Then they will get back out and get to the day-to-day things that they need to do. As I walk past my cousin's house, Zafar, Ansham Rose and their father, Fakir Malik, may God bless his soul, a wonderful influence on me. Particularly at times of trouble and strife, he was always there for me. Always made sure I was okay, something I will never forget in my life. And when I was here in 1977 for about 18 months or so, most of this area was very bare. And I'm about to share with you a very emotional experience. So in October 1977, when we were traveling to Pakistan, and we were traveling by road from Bradford to Pakistan, we had a major incident and an accident, and two of my brothers lost their lives. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevate their status in Jannah. A little while later, and this was the family house at the time. This is the rear side as I just walked past it on the left hand side. Most of this area was bare, right up to the main roads. However, what happened was beyond belief. So, Abaji and my oldest brother, they'd worked very hard, toiled for years and years and years. My elder brother lost his life, but at this particular place, one particular night, we were all drugged. Whilst we were drugged and we were all deep in sleep, dacoits and robbers came and they wiped the house completely clean, devoid of anything that was material. They did not even leave the bed sheets, they took everything. And I remember waking up one morning, or the morning, and in front of the house there was lots of bricks and stones. And the robbers and the dacoits had left some of their debris, and people started to wake up. As they started to wake up, I remember my mother was crying, God bless her soul. And what my father said still remains with me today. He said, I have lost my flesh and blood. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken it back. But do not fear, because as long as I have strength and as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives me the power to live, all the materials will come back. And that is exactly the case. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us everything back. Later on in life, Abaji and my mother, we went through huge sacrifices of every kind. Economically, it was very low. Mentally, it was very low. And imagine having to deal with the burden of not only losing your sons, but also losing what you had here in Pakistan. And within a short period of time, our home that we had in Bradford in West Yorkshire that Abaji had bought with his own cash, unfortunately was torched. It was burnt down, and to this day we will never know what happened, because Abaji was just concentrating on making sure, and Mum for that matter as well, that mentally we were able to survive that emotional period. After staying here for the best part of 2 years, in December 1979 we returned home to the UK, and my parents started to rebuild their lives. However, during the time here in Pakistan, it's no longer here, but this is the Ghourghushti. And this is where I would spend lots of my time with my cousins, Mufti Saabs, now Mufti Saab, Ihsanul Haq and Ihsanul Haq. And this is the entry point to the masjid. And it wasn't like this at that time. It was very simple. And Mamaji Nurul Haq Ustaz used to be in those rooms there, God bless his soul. And we would play in the masjid as well as read in the masjid. And with Maulana Ihsanul Haq, the Mufti Sahib, we spent a little bit of time going to school. And apparently I was clever, so I was the school monitor. I don't know what you call them nowadays, but I was a school monitor. And this area here was completely bare. Now there's a school on the left-hand side, there's shops on the right-hand side, Attock Grammar School, Mallah. Oh, and of course, mashallah, the Malik family. Mashallah, the beautiful guest house. However, this is the original spot for the guest house. Very famous little wall here in the village where the elders would often sit on that wall many years ago. Firdos Kakaji, God bless his soul, Miroli Kakaji, God bless his soul, and the elders of today as well would congregate and sit on that wall for ages. And here it is, Zabit Khan Lala's beautiful home. Now it's all built up. Goes Arshad's family house. I think Nisar Bhaijan, Farooq Lala, those guys are here now too. Members of the Malik family, a wonderful family here in Mallah who take care of so many things. They take care of the people's needs, they take care of charity, they're involved in business, mashallah, they have agriculture, and they have huge influence upon the day-to-day runnings of the village of Mallah. My father's uncle, Abdul Razik Mama, God bless his soul, the old family home. I remember walking through the doors and then there would be a whole load of buffaloes, and Mama known as Meho Mama to the whole family. So this bit of the village has not changed much in the sense that, okay, it's more firmer underground, it's concreted, otherwise it remains very similar. And check that out for a door. A door in the village of Mallah. And this is Mohalla Habib Khel. You could hear a pin drop. Oh, as I find somebody wondering, welcome back. Walaikum salam, Inam al-Hasan. So as we continue with a jog down memory lane, I have just gone past Adil's house here in Mallah, and I can hear a tuk-tuk appearing from the back. Very emotional journeys. Once again, the houses are more solid in comparison to how they were in the 1970s and 1980s, where there were mainly mud walls and mud homes for the majority of the area. So technology is being used even in the building industry. I saw something earlier that said something like, success for Pakistan lies in success in the building industry, which is very interesting. As we start to reach Masjid in Habib Khel. And it's probably about 10 to 15 minutes to namaz time as well. And I haven't the greatest of guidance, but I'm being told that the family home was originally somewhere around here, and other members of the family lived just a little further on there on the right hand side. Part of the family is from Vietnam, and Uncle Usman and the family were resident there. This is Shiraz's shop. The doors are closed. More famously known as Jilani Baba's Adai, a very famous little shop which has been going for 50 to 60 years. And I think it's the fourth generation of the family, because I remember speaking to Shiraz about it before, and he was telling me all about it. And a little walk further down, as we turn left, you will find lots of wires. As we enter another local street, you can hear my flip-flops flopping. Another great guy, Liaquat Ali's residence, mashallah. I remember when I was little that he used to always smile, and nearly 40 years later, even when I see him today, he is still smiling, because smiling is a sunnah. Say that again, smiling is a sunnah. So whilst you're watching the video, please take a moment to subscribe, like and share, and do comment as well. As I reach Mum Raisy's residence, and a few homes on the other side which need a little bit of tender loving care. And one thing definitely needs to be improved is the drainage system. So that's a part of the video in Mallah. Please keep watching, the other parts are on the way. Be blessed and have a wonderful, blessed day.